Hello everyone, the film I'm reviewing today was a suggestion from Nicholas Mays. Thank you for being active on my channel and requesting movies for me to take a look at. I am Torstein from Cinema Terror, and this is the 1997 smash hit I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Know What You Did Last Summer is very loosely based on a 1973 novel by Louis Duncan. As many slasher films before it, the film takes place on a holiday, this time the 4th of July, where a group of young adults are celebrating their graduation and last summer together before they all move on to live out their individual dreams. The night of celebration does not end as planned though, as they get into a car accident as they run over a guy that comes out in the road out of nowhere. They make the rushed decision of dumping the body in the sea and keep it a secret within the group. A year goes by and this tragic night has taken its toll on all of their mental state. None of their goals are achieved, and things are getting even worse when they 1 year later starts to receive messages that someone saw what they did last summer. It must have been 20 years now since the last time I saw this film. I Know What You Did Last Summer came out after a major success that was Scream, and together with that film, I Know is known to be one of the movies that started the teen slasher boom in the late half of the 90s. They all had a hot young cast with actors that were generally better than what we saw in the 80s, but on the other hand, they also targeted the younger audience, and as a result they came up a bit short in the gore department. I Know What You Did Last Summer does that as well, but tries to make up for it by having an engaging mystery and characters who all feel like real young adults, and not just stereotypical teens that are there to be slaughtered off without any emotional attachment from the viewer. That being said, I must admit that I remember liking these 4 main characters more when I was younger, and that might be because the 2 leading girls are quite beautiful to look at, especially for a young male. Jennifer Love Hewitt plays the lead character, Julie, and she is great and complex. You can clearly see how tormented she is by her decision to go along with dumping the body, even though nothing is stopping her from going against the promise she made to her old friends. And be nicer to your mom when she makes you a nice dinner, please.
I really wanted monkfish, but it's been a bad season. And... Are you on drugs?
Sarah Michelle Gellar plays a friend, Helen. She is presented as what you would assume be the blonde bimbo of the bunch, but there is more to her than just that, and she ends up being the most likable character out of the main 4. And I'm not just saying that because I had a huge crush on Gellar when I was a 15-year-old teenager, I think. Ryan Phillippe plays Barry. He does not exactly look like the local sports hero, but he does do a good job in being the douchey, drunken boyfriend, while still having a bit of a charm to him. Acting wise, I'd say it's the best out of the bunch, and you can feel all the effort he gives in his performance. The one I liked the least was Freddie Prinze Jr. as Ray. His character and performance is kinda lame and annoying. The Scottish filmmaker Jim Gillespie was appointed as the director for this $70 million production, and thus not an easy task for a first-time director of a full feature film. But I must say that he did a great job, and I am surprised to see that his career didn't go further than what it has so far. That being said, he did get to work with Sylvester Stallone in the 2002 film Detox, and also returned to the horror genre in 2005 with Venom. What I like the most about this film is how it is shot. Together with cinematographer Dennis Crewson, Gillespie created a film that is nice to look at, and the few murder scenes that are there are constructed quite well, again making it easier to overlook the fact that there's not a lot of blood in these scenes. The story is penned by arguably the hottest screenwriter of horror in the 90s, Kevin Williamson. He has a knack for bringing young characters to life and obviously cares about them. But all praise aside, there are a couple of illogical moments to be found in I Know What You Did Last Summer. How it affects your viewing experience will be determined by a personal limit for forgiveness of those kind of things, and I doubt I would care much for them if it wasn't for the fact that this is not my first time watching this film. Williamson had actually written the script for this film years prior to making a name for himself by writing the screenplay to Wes Craven's Scream. And after that, Hollywood wanted everything with his name on it. And he is still very active today, 20 years later, but these days he's mostly writing for TV shows after finding huge success with the shows Dawson's Creek and The Vampire Diaries.
He can't go to the police, not now, he's made sure of that. He's just out there and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
I Know What You Did Last Summer would get a direct sequel only a year later with I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and a direct-to-DVD third film in 2006 called I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Lately there's been talk of a reboot with Mike Flanagan involved. I Know What You Did Last Summer is a fun 90s teen slasher that are perfect for the crowd of teen horror fans. I'm happy with how the film has aged, and even as an adult I can still enjoy this one. I Know What You Did Last Summer gets a solid score of 3.5 out of 5. Have you seen I Know What You Did Last Summer? And was it back in the 90s when it was first released, or have you revisited it in the last few years? What are your thoughts on it, and how do you rate the two sequels? Anything I Know related thoughts are welcome in the comment section below. If you like 90s slashers and want to go more in the silly, campy direction, then check out my review for the surprisingly enjoyable 1995 film The Fair. That's it from me today, hope you enjoyed this video, and please do come back in the future for more horror related content here on Cinema Terror. Thank you.